I want to get started with a couple stories that I think that you'll enjoy.
Okay.
So way back in the day, I'm 36. Way back in the day when I was 14, I was starting
Uh-huh.
to show that I was serious about a career in the music industry. So my parents drive me from Ottawa to Toronto for Canadian Music Week to see if I can network, if I can learn some things and become a professional. So at Canadian Music Week, I'm 14 and I wait in line for hours at a future shop at Yonge and
Oh
Dundas
my gosh. Yep.
to get autographs from Edwin,
Yep.
newly solo from I Mother Earth. Um, who else was there? The Mudmen. And last but
Yep.
not least, the Salad. So I actually have a picture with you guys and an autograph. And I mean, I would need a
Oh, that's
gargantuan
amazing.
effort to dig it up and show it, but I do have it.
Was not by choice there as
Not by
well.
choice was there as
And
well.
was I'm trying to remember her name. She was great. There was this young girl that was sort of up and coming at that time too. Oh my gosh. She was a black girl, really, really cute. And
Fifi Dobson.
Beefy Dobson. Yeah.
Fifi Dobson. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. A force on
Oh,
stage.
and
Like, yeah.
it just hit me. Sean Desmond was there.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Sean's amazing.
that's funny. I was gonna ask you if you remembered Canadian Music Week at all, and you do because you jumped in, and it just
Yep.
reminded me of a story. My mom and I were there waiting in line, and her and I, she doesn't know any of the musicians, and I'm
Yep.
just pretty laid back. So her and I are just walking around everywhere. It's like security doesn't care about us because we're not freaking out. And out
Yep.
of nowhere, a door opens right beside my mom, and Sean Desmond comes out,
Yeah. Cool.
and she has no idea who he is. And then the flocks just go crazy, and my mom's like, "Who is this guy?" So we were near Sean Desmond for a while,
He's a
and
pretty stunning guy. She must have figured out pretty quick that he was a star. He has that like star quality to
I
him.
guess she probably
Totally
thought he was
does. Yeah.
handsome, but had no idea
Yeah.
who he was. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
pretty funny. And then
I
my
love
other,
his TikToks and social media. Like that guy, just watch he shares, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but he shares how he produces music. And you
oh,
really learn how incredible of a musician the guy is. Like,
mm,
and he's very inspired. Anyhow, that's cool. I
that's
love that.
amazing. And the other story is about 3 years later, I'm 17. A few of my best friends and I do a mini road trip from Ottawa to Montreal for a Radiohead concert. So there's
Nice.
60,000 people in Montreal for one band. We
Yeah.
get there early. We're 17. Quebec doesn't care how old you are. You're allowed to drink. So we're
Yep.
bar hopping. We go probably 5 different bars for beer and food, never ID'd. And out of nowhere, I look out the window and
Yep.
I say to the guys, "Isn't that the Salads?" And you guys
No.
were walking by. So we come outside, we meet you guys, we talk. That's the first time I actually like legit met you. And I don't remember you got if the whole band was there, you probably weren't there to go see Radiohead because you're not from Montreal. I'm
No,
assuming
if
you
we
probably had a
were,
show.
yeah, we would have had a show, most definitely. Yeah.
So
We were
this
at that time, I'm trying to think of, so whenever we went to Quebec or Montreal, it was probably with Stomp Records bands. Like it was probably with Stomp Records is a label from Montreal.
hmm.
Um, and it's owned by the Planet Smashers.
Oh, nice.
And they were like the guys that found the band Flashlight that became Flashlight Brown that eventually signed to Hollywood Records. And they just have such a huge catalog of amazing music. But we
Would it
were
be
doing,
considered like a ska label or
yeah,
indie?
oh yeah, full on.
Okay.
It's a full on ska label, Stomp Records in Montreal, and it is awesome. They totally have their own sound. Um, you got to check it out.
I
It's
will
just
check it. I'm familiar with the
Canadian ska
bands.
has this like really sort of roots ska feeling to it. Um, and but anyhow, that's likely who we were there with, because whenever we went to Montreal or anywhere in Quebec that at that time, it was with Stomp Records bands. And we also toured with, well, that's not entirely true because we did a tour with Grimskunk as well. So it may have been with those guys.
Okay.
Who knows? And I'm trying to think of who else we might have played out there with, but it was likely a ska show because Montreal loves the ska.
They do. They do. Very, very cultured city.
It
Super
is.
music lovers there for sure. And the last part of this story is the same best friends that I was at the Radiohead show in
Yeah.
Montreal for. Years later, we road tripped out to Barrie for I Mother Earth's last ever show. We were there at the 4 hour show. They played everything. They were in the middle of the
In the
round
middle. I was going to say
at,
in the round, in the
at like a
circle. Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
We were there. Then we were at their comeback show in Toronto. Then we were at their show at Edgefest in Toronto. And
Nice.
we now have tickets for the recently announced show in Ottawa. And I know you have the Ottawa and Toronto
Awesome.
shows, and you
That's
added a
such a
second
great,
date in
great
Toronto.
venue.
So
Have you been to that venue yet, Joel?
the Bronson Center
Yeah.
in Ottawa, yeah, it's
Yeah.
very intimate. I think I saw Our Lady Peace there at the Junos, at
Yeah.
the Juno
It's a
ceremonies. Or
great venue and it's super fun to play. Like,
Mhm.
I don't, it's just one of those closed rooms that feels great to play a gig inside of. So yeah, really looking forward to those. I think that's why the guys picked both of those venues, the Phoenix and Bronson, because they both like, they are intimate. And we want to give people, I think the idea is to give people that sort of intimate, like you're all part of this, right? And here we are, and let's celebrate you and let's celebrate us and this thing that we do together. And here's all of it, right? And those are two venues that we love playing. And I think the Phoenix, we have two shows now, right? The first one's sold out.
Yeah, added a
So it gives
second
us the
date.
opportunity to do that as well. Because there were a couple days around the dates on either side of those. So if that happened, we could expand it. And it looks like we have. And it's going to be so fun. And I love when you get to play in a place 2 or 3 nights in a row. It's just because by the time you get on there, the second night, which night you're coming to Ottawa.
I'm in Ottawa, so I'm the only
Ottawa.
Ottawa
So
date.
that's the one night. Because I love doing 2 nights because the second night, everything is perfect by the time you hit a first note. Like, it's all going to be bang on exactly the same way it was when you left, which is so fun. For me, it's really just about playing and playing as hard, staying hard, right? Playing as hard as I possibly can, right? And when it sounds good, it gives you the chance to really go for it. So
You guys are going to give the people what they want.
I hope so. I hope we don't suck. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right.
It's
I
a
think
big catalog of very long songs, and it's been quite a while since we played any of those with Brian, like a bunch of years now. And a lot of those songs are really hard to play. And we're all kind of freaking out because we know the work that we've got to do, but we've got a lot of rehearsals scheduled. And it usually starts with myself and the brothers, and we just sort of work through everything. And I think Jesse, because we have a keyboard player now, and he's not played any of the Brian songs, so I think he's coming to those rehearsals too. But it's going to be a lot of work. And then we eventually bring in singers, and I got a rehearsal schedule the other day, and it looks awesome because we're going to do a couple days just with Ed, and then a couple days just with Brian, and then a final 2 rehearsals with both guys going through the entire show that we're putting on. And wow, it's going to be fun because they're both so wildly different personalities, singing wise, but they both fit what the band does. It's going to be pretty cool. So
when you first joined the band, it was the Brian years, and then you've gone through the Edwin years, and now you got both together.
I have,